Of course, people would say, me being a conservative, I want Donald Trump to have won. I've posted news for Donald Trump. I posted news for conservatism. I posted news about my beliefs that seems to be aligned with Republicans and conservatism. So someone might say, why the hell would I promote Kamala Harris? Why would I wanted Kamala to win?
All right, so we have a guy named Lucre, I think that's his name, who has a video titled, "I don't regret voting for Kamala Harris, my confession." And I'm honestly genuinely curious to see what he has to say.
The title isn't a typo. I know it comes kind of surprising to hear me say, I have no regrets for voting for Kamala Harris.
Now, before we move forward, I want it to be clear. You get to vote for whoever you want. You get to have whatever political opinion you want. You know, I think that people forget this, but your view on life is your own, and you can't expect someone else, even of a similar demographic, to have the same perspective as you, to have the same viewpoint as you, to have the same ideas and ideals that matter to them, you know, because your views change over time, and you can't expect people to be on your accord. So you get to vote for whoever you want.
It might come as a shock for some people where does this come from, it's left field, but let me explain in less than 5 minutes. It's going to make so much sense. You see, of course, people would say, me being a conservative, I want Donald Trump to have won. I've posted news for Donald Trump. I posted news for conservatism. I posted news about my beliefs that seems to be aligned with Republicans and conservatism. So someone might say, why the hell would I promote Kamala Harris? Why would I wanted Kamala to win? Not an easy video to make. And the reason being because things are a little bit too good when Trump is president. I'm a journalist. I do news. I get paid every time there's news.
Wait, where are you getting at?
Guess what? When Trump is president, there's not much news to post.
That's not true. That's not true.
When you do too much good, there's not enough things to fearmonger people about to get me the clicks that's necessary to pay my bills.
Oh, so you wanted Kamala Harris to win so that you can have shit to talk about. That's interesting. That's an interesting angle. Interesting angle.
To keep the roof over my head. It's a lot easier to pay my bills when Trump isn't president because there's more riots. There's more disaster in America. There's more people that's broke.
So you pretty much wanted Kamala Harris to win because you knew she was going to destroy the country, and that's going to be more clicks and views for you. So you were willing to throw the baby out with the bathwater for monetization. That's interesting.
There's more crime. You got to see all of those things are headlines. All of those things are breaking and developing. So I marched up and I voted for Kamala Harris.
Is he trolling, bro? Is he trolling me?
Because it's a win-win for people like me and all influencers. You see, this is the same reason why Democrat influencers want Kamala Harris to win, and even secretly some Republican influencers, because our money goes up when we can tell you guys about the chaos that people like Kamala Harris would have brought.
That is so interesting. Honestly, yes, I agree. But, you know, you could get just as many or more views leaning into your conservatism and just talking about how people are irrational, you know? Because, yeah, if Kamala Harris would have won and her and Tim Walz just let the floodgates open for mass immigration and fraud, yeah, you have something to talk about, but it's also destroying our country. We can't, you can't do that. I think you get a lot of clicks and views just talking about how irrational it is for people to shame someone who's doing so many things correctly. Well, I wouldn't even say correctly, but just for America, you know?
So, yeah, I don't regret voting for Kamala Harris. I wanted Kamala Harris to win. It would have been the best thing to ever happen for me. And it's
bro is really only worried about his pockets. That's so funny.
Been heavy on my heart. You know, I've been wanting to reveal this to the world. I really didn't know how to come out and say it. And it's yeah. I'm a Trump supporter.
Bro,
but I think it's something about this new Artemis 2 launch that really has gotten on my conscience to where I got to confess. I wanted Kamala to win. I voted for her. Not only did I vote for her, I have no regrets about it. Like I said before, Kamala Harris winning would have been the best thing to ever happen to me. I'd have been so much more successful being able to make talking points, being able to drop 3-4 videos a day. Hell, back in 2024, I was dropping like 3-4 YouTube videos a day.
Yeah.
Thank you, Biden. You see, that's what comes with that. Now with President Trump in the chair, I got to work much harder for news. Sometimes I'm dropping a YouTube video every 2-3 days because I'm not trying to just drop y'all no trash.
Right.
It got to be a genuine original thought.
Yeah.
And it has to be somewhat, I would believe, entertaining and something that you would like to hear.
Okay.
I tell you what, that's a whole lot harder when we have a president doing everything he's supposed to do.
See, no, and that's where you have your new angle of people who don't like that at all, how irrational their thought process is. That's your talking point. That's your new viewpoint is I'm conservative, right? And this is what other people think, but they're actually just delusional and living in a dreamscape. So that's your new angle. You can get millions of views just talking about how the opposition is handling it.
Now, be honest, I knew he was going to do everything he was supposed to do, which is why I didn't vote for him.
That's so stupid.
It's giving voters everything they ask for. Do you know how hard that is to make news for a nigga that's giving you everything you asked for?
Yeah. Yeah. I told you. The people who don't like it, talk about that.
Told you he was going to address Iran. He did. He told you he was going to address Ukraine and Russia. He did. He told you he was going to work on Greenland. He did.
Yeah.
He told you he was going to start cleaning up the American streets. He did.
Yeah.
Do I need to keep going on? He told you to get transparency with Epstein files, whether y'all want to believe it or accept it or not. If Trump went,
I think it's funny people still talking about the Epstein files when they're not talking about how Joe Biden didn't release Epstein files when he was president. But, whatever.
President, nigga, you wouldn't be seeing shit with Epstein. He did. He's giving people what they want way too much, which leads to people not having a reason to complain. So you see,
I like this guy, bro. I'm gonna subscribe.
I need people
I'm
complaining.
subscribe.
I'm trying to pay my bills. You gotta understand, we're shameless people.
Yeah.
This is how we get paid. We need President Trump to have lost. Well, we needed that. I'm not just the only.
See, no, we can't let our country go into the dirt just because we need talking points. No. We can't do that. Like, hilarious, but we can't do that, okay? Because they would have just, no.
Which is why I woke up, marched straight down like my ancestor Martin Luther King. I can't even keep that shit up. Like, listen, once I brought up MLK, I had to end it. Guys, April Fools, of course. For some reason, I couldn't keep the joke up when
I'm like, there's no way this, bro. You got to be trolling.
When I brought up Martin Luther King, bro, he's a dragon. I'm a dog. If you don't know what that means, do your research. I have nothing against Martin Luther King, but I can't just sit here and simp for him like I'm just, yeah. April Fool, man. I definitely voted for Trump. My voting record is public. You can look me up, Dominic Andrew McGee.
I knew it.
Always
It had to be.
supporters of
I knew it had to be something because it was too like satirical.
6 years old. Shout out to my mom that passed away in 2009. That
Shout out,
instilled
Mom.
that in me. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, never had the opportunity to be a Democrat or break out. But everything I said was 100% true. I would have made way more money, been way more successful. Many of us would have, if Trump was to have lost.
That's like, is that true though? All right, so maybe he's right. If Kamala Harris would have won, you would probably have something to critique almost every day, but maybe not. Because when she was vice president, she was barely visible. She was nowhere to be found. And I think if she was president, she would still be nowhere to be found. So you might not have much to talk about because you wouldn't even know where your president is.
That is the truth. And that's why you see so many people push fear-mongering. That's why so many people get paid for pushing negativity. That's the actual goal of a lot of people. That's the real reality of it. So I hope this was a good laugh. If you chose to laugh.
It was.
At the bare minimum, really pay attention to what I said, because that's the stark, cold reality for a lot of people that's pushing you some news.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. See you in the last one.
Facts. Moral of the story is have discernment for yourself. I like this guy, Dom Lucre. I'm gonna subscribe, bro. Shout out to you. Nice video. Go check him out. I'll leave the full video in the description, and let me know what y'all think about this. You know, it was a good satire, but it does pose a good question. If Kamala Harris and Tim Walz did win, would that actually be more content for content creators? I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe. Till next time. Peace out.